So it's been 7 years, 7 long years, since we last had a Star Wars movie. But no worry, the wait is over, just in time for the Memorial Day weekend. Hey everybody, I'm McBride, the movie guy, and today let's kick off the summer movie season with The Mandalorian and Grogu.
We've all heard stories of the Mandalorian bounty hunter and a child.
I only hunt Imperial war criminals. I'll take out every bad guy in your deck of cards.
This isn't about revenge. It's about preventing another war.
The Mandalorian and Grogu is the film spin-off of the popular TV Plus TV series. In it, we meet a Mandalorian warrior named Din Djarin. He's played by Pedro Pascal. He's working as a bounty hunter in the post-Jedi universe. He's also watching over his ward, a baby Yoda-looking creature named Grogu. Now, if you haven't managed to see Grogu or baby Yoda on TV here, basically you got to know that Grogu is the most adorable-looking puppet you've ever seen. And he's basically a toddler with big energy, big appetites, and this tentative mastery of the Force. It's a really good character. Back to the story, Mando is working for the Rebel Alliance, and he's assigned to go rescue Rada the Hutt. That's Jabba the Hutt's son. And Rada is fighting, gladiator style, in the fighting pits. So Mando and Grogu show up, and they do their job, but they end up offending Rada's family, who now hire this bounty hunter to capture our hero. Can Mando and Grogu survive the Hutt clan? I mean, this is a Disney movie, so what do you think? So this is definitely a Star Wars movie. It's got a big intergalactic plot that takes us to lots of cool alien planets, and there we meet all these interesting, cool alien creatures. I mean, more creatures in this movie than I've seen in a long time. There are lots of shots that are just filled with bugs or tiny creatures, but also some of the players here, like the Anzalian characters, we've met them before. These are tiny little creatures that are so adorable, they almost rival Grogu for adorability. And then, of course, remember that we see Rada, and he's fighting in the pits, and so he's fighting against all these alien monsters. And I gotta say, the animation on these is really done well. Those creatures look photorealistic, great. They move well. Remember, there's a big combat sequence. That is not an easy thing to animate. So kudos to the animators here. This movie looks wonderfully. But unfortunately, not all of the creatures are truly believable. And really, unfortunately, one of the main offenders is Grogu, or Baby Yoda here. I mean, look, this is a puppet, this is an animatronic creature, and when we're on the creature's face, Grogu's face is just really nice looking. It's adorable. Those giant eyes make your heart swell up. It's really well done in the face. But when it has to walk, like there's a moment where it has to shimmy up this drain pipe here, and you can say, oh yeah, that's just a puppet being pulled on a string. Or especially the ones that I had a problem with was the hands. I mean, Grogu uses his hands a lot in this movie, and they are obviously just foam rubber claws on a stick. They don't move. I don't know why the animators didn't spend money to animate with computers those things that they couldn't do with the puppetry. That kind of pulled me out of the movie a lot, because Grogu is so big a part of the story. He's right there in the title, but then you look at the hands and you look at some of the other things and you go, oh yeah, this is just a puppet. No, I wanted to believe that Grogu is an actual living, breathing creature. And unfortunately, it doesn't really work in this movie. So the other creature that I had a bit of a problem with was Rada the Hutt, voiced by Jeremy Allen White. And look, I don't know why we hired this big up-and-coming star to voice Rada the Hutt, but we did. I'm okay with that, although I didn't think his voice sounded very much like a Hutt's voice. The bigger problem I had is that the Hutt creatures, Jabba the Hutt, you think of him as this giant slug. And when I'm thinking of mixed martial arts and the gladiator pits, I don't think of the giant slug as being a big fighter. Now, I recognize that we've seen some of this in the comics and in the animated series before, but really, it kind of took me back seeing this Rada the Hutt moving around so effortlessly, fighting with these hand axes, moving quickly. That's just not the character that I thought he was. I'm also not a big fan of Rada speaking almost exclusively in English. When I think of the Hutts, when I think of Jabba the Hutt in particular, I think of this giant creature speaking in this foreign language with this big, booming, menacing voice. And Rada just chats in English, and it just kind of takes away some of the mystique of the character here. So, when I was leaving the movie theater here, I talked to the guy next to me and said, well, that was interesting. He goes, yeah, I'm not sure I liked Rada being the fighter here, and I kind of feel the same way. But I get it. He was in a lot of the animated series that way, so there are fans that will like this and accept this far more than I will, who is more of a Star Wars purist. I want to see the original Hutt design and character design. Now, credit director Jon Favreau for giving us some really good action sequences. It starts off with a moment where Mando is basically breaking into a couple of 3 AT-ATs, and he basically takes them down as if they are nothing at all. It's almost like John Wick fighting the stormtroopers here, although I did have to laugh. There's one moment here where Mando is fighting, almost a legion of stormtroopers here, and he's killing them all, and they're firing back, but of course they can't hit him because stormtroopers famously cannot hit anything. And I noticed in the back room, standing right behind Mando, is a stormtrooper who's not firing. It's almost like he's just waiting there for Mando to turn around and kill him. Okay, so stormtroopers are idiots. And look, I do really like the action finale of this movie. It's exciting, it's over the top. We get to see X-Wing fighters, we get to see dogfights, we get to see all that good stuff. Really well done action. But I will say that in the middle, there's an interesting difference going on here because we get the drama, the human drama. Pardon me, I know Mandalorians aren't really humans, but we see this human drama, and some of it is a little slow, but some of it is truly amazing. There's a sequence in this movie, and I'm not going to spoil it here, but there's a time where Grogu has to care for Mando. And they actually say it later on. They say the old take care and protect the young, and then the young take care and protect the old. This is the way. And that's kind of the theme of this section of this. And I gotta tell you, it's really quite beautiful. Little moments of humor in it. I loved it. But this is the time where Grogu, where Baby Yoda really gets to shine. And it made me tear up a little bit. I thought it was really well done. So the big question here is this a full movie, or is this just an extension of the TV show? And I would say yes and no. I wish the story had a larger arc to it. It does feel like this is like 4 TV show episodes back to back to back, but episodes with larger special effects budgets and bigger action choreography. If you like the TV show, then I'm sure you will absolutely love this. If you have young kids, they will absolutely love this as well. If you're someone that holds Star Wars, the original movies, in such high regard as, honestly, I do, well, then this might be an okay, but perhaps not the greatest edition episode in this franchise here. But I do think it works well. I think the action is really well done. The special effects are mostly great, with the exception of Grogu's hands, which I'm not getting over here. But I think it's a lot of fun, and I think fans will like it, and it's good to see Star Wars back in the movie theaters. So I give The Mandalorian and Grogu 3 stars out of 4. I recognize that I can fixate on small details when I'm reviewing the movie, and maybe it is just me, but I gotta tell you, every time I saw Grogu's hands, I thought, oh, that's a claw on a stick, and they just look so fake, they took me out of the movie. And so I really wish they would have fixed this. This would have been a much bigger, much more effective movie for me had they just fixed that one issue. Still, I liked it quite a bit. I had a lot of fun, and the people around me, many of whom showed up to the press screening in costume or carrying lightsabers, they had a blast. So I think you'll like it too. But hey, go see the movie and come back and tell me what you thought. I always like to hear your comments. Comment below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so you get all of my reviews just as soon as they drop. And check out the podcast. It's called Two Movie Guys, and every week my friend Joe Fryer and I get together and we chat about all the week's big new movies. Just search for Two Movie Guys wherever you get your podcasts. So The Mandalorian and Grogu is obviously the big movie out for the Memorial Day weekend. It's the one that's kicking off the summer movie season here. But there are a couple of films that are being sent out as counter-programming. So coming up next, we'll talk about a new film by Boots Riley and a new horror film. We'll see you then. Bye.